name is Gregor von Laschewski, and today I'm telling you a little bit about some introductory to cloud computing material. This material is available on a website that is called mycloudmesh.org/learning. And this website will be automatically redirecting you to our space on GitHub, where all the material can be retrieved. This website will be constantly updated and is being developed by a number of people. And we put all the material for the lessons in this particular website. One nice thing about this website is also that the material is available in different formats. So I can download the material, for example, as a PDF document. So if you prefer a book-like format, you can download this material. However, we have also an epub publication available. And as you see, I can download my epub publication and open this hopefully with iBooks. Here we have it. And I can go about and read my documentation with iBook readers. This allows you to read also the material with, for example, an iPad or any other tablet that has ebook readers included. The preferred format, however, is our web page. Let's inspect the web page a little bit closer. One of the things is we have a sidebar here that contains the site content. The site content is not shows only the main headings. So if you want to go and look at some further section, you just go ahead and you find a sub section in that particular paragraph or chapter. We also have a number of IPython notebooks that are being listed here. How to use them we will be explaining in a later time. And naturally we have, when we go to a page such as Cloudmesh, we have a local table of contents published that you will be seeing down here. So you can, for example, go to one of the subsections and you see here the page contents on the bottom, or you can go here and have an internal table of contents for that particular page. So let us go back to the main site, in here we will be starting with the preface. And the preface has a number of conventions in there. We see, for example, the $ is being used for the shell environment. So that means this is our shell prompt, and then afterwards we can punch in some shell commands. We have a portal name. That is the name of the username that you will have when you apply for accounts on future systems. We have a normal username that also sometimes being used, and we provide menu selections in this particular form, as well as men pages that are being displayed in this particular form. We have also certain hints being reported with, for example, the hint button, and it will allow you to more precisely look at some things that may be done frequently wrong. And we use many different kinds of hints. So let us look a little bit more in the website. Let's go to the About section. And in that About section, we explain you that in case you are at Indiana University, you can also take independent studies with me. I can be easily reached at my email. You find my email through the contact page that you will be having here. And you can choose a variety of topics that are related towards cloud computing, and also some towards big data in regards to reference management and H-index and those kind of things. Certainly you can also contribute to the manual. There's many things that you can improve or can contribute, and we are happy to have you being added as a contributor to this particular page. As a contact, you can find myself. I'm Gregor von Laschewski at laschewski@gmail.com. That's my preferred email. All my email is typically redirected to this particular email. Naturally, we have a number of contributors to this web page. We have here listed a number of them. Other contributors may have contributed to the Cloudmesh code, which is located at a different location. And all our contributions can actually be monitored via our GitHub. So we prefer that you use a fork of this particular site and commit your changes as a request to Git, and then we can integrate this and properly acknowledge you. If that's not possible, you can just email us with your suggestions and we will be integrating them. So this is all that's there for the general website. We have certain sections that are telling you about how do you create a cloud account on future systems, how do you use Cloudmesh, some introductory material on parallel shells, infrastructure as a service usage such as OpenStack, but Cloudmesh will be doing that also for you. Platform as a services, how do you use HPC, what hardware is available, for example, for you to use. This includes future systems. Some of the DevOps frameworks, which we will be expanding upon soon. And then some additional help. We have also a to-do list. That's an internal to-do list of what we need to be still doing on this particular website. If you find something, then you can just send us an email saying, hey, here, you need to be doing an additional to-do. Please do this. Also at the bottom, we have on each page the site contents for this particular site, as well as the page content, as well as some shortcuts to some other links. One of the important things is that throughout our activities is that you need to be familiar with a number of programming techniques, and it's important that you are familiar with a programming language. This material is not necessarily for someone to learn programming. However, we have conducted that with undergraduate students and use this material here to teach them about how do you program in Python, for example. A large number of collection of free books on programming is available on GitHub. This is not maintained by us, but this is maintained by some other people. In this particular page, you find a number of Python starting guides. We don't want to particularly point to one of them that you want to use, but I'm sure that one of them will be sufficient for you to get started in Python. Our experience is that if you're a very good programmer in one programming language, that learning Python takes about 1 to 2 days, and to get a little bit more proficient in additional week. And there are also some additional resources, such as, for example, this Python cookbook from David Beasley that has patterns and some programming snippets from things that you may want to do in Python, and you can just look them up and can learn from them. So it's not just the language that you need to look into, how do you do an if condition or while loop, but maybe how do you deal with classes or meta classes and meta programming and other infrastructure. We will, however, give a very brief introduction to what you will be needing in order to set up your environment, and we assume that you are knowing Python at that time. Thank you so much for your attention. We will go back to our website and introduce you now to additional concepts that we will be talking about. Hello, my name is Gregor von Laschewski, and today I'm telling you about Cloudmesh. Cloudmesh information can be found on the website mycloudmesh.org/learning. Let us just go to this. This page will redirect you to our GitHub page where all the information is being hosted at this time. One of the things that we want to talk to you about is the Cloudmesh internals today a little bit. Previously, we already talked to you about how to obtain an account on future systems so that you have access to at least one cloud. Let us visit the Cloudmesh web page and see the table of contents. We have several subsections. One is an overview about Cloudmesh. One is about how to set up Cloudmesh. The next about the Cloudmesh command shell program, as well as the API, and how do we program the Cloudmesh shell. There's also a Cloudmesh graphical user interface that provides a very convenient interface to managing virtual machines on federated environments. Let's go to the overview of Cloudmesh. Here we have an architectural picture that let's just look a little bit closer at it. Where we have a management framework that sits on top that contains a portal, REST APIs, as well as the command line interface, as well as provisioning and execution services that interface with the variety of infrastructure as a service toolkits that are being placed in the bottom. And here we can, for example, see that we have federated resources that we can, for example, access to Cloudmesh. Let us be a little bit more practical and show you a different view where the software that we have developed in Python contains a Cloudmesh core that includes the shell, the web API, the REST services, as well as other interfaces to bare metal provisioning. It also includes a substantial installation management software package that allows you to install Cloudmesh on a variety of operating systems. Through these abstractions, the interfaces to clouds are being enabled, so we can access virtual machines on Amazon, on Azure, on Eucalyptus, on OpenStack, any cloud that is being managed with libcloud. However, Cloudmesh not only relies on libcloud, but provides native API interfaces to some of the frameworks, such as in Azure, where we use the Azure API, as well as in OpenStack, where you're using the REST services to directly interface with OpenStack. We also have high-performance computing interfaces to batch queuing systems, such as PBS. In future, we will be extending this to Slurm. We are providing in this particular document a small overview where we talk about the installation that is being done in 3 phases, the service management that contains a database, a web service, and task services, as well as our access to bare metal machines. It explains that we can access the variety of clouds. It provides a snapshot of, for example, our graphical user interface that is very sophisticated, and I will show you a little bit more snapshots later on. It shows you that we have a convenient interface to a shell where we can access Cloudmesh from a compute shell environment. Here we list, for example, the available clouds to us. We also have an API, a Python API, that's very simple. So we import, for example, Cloudmesh. We create a mesh and set the database to MongoDB. We obtain our username, we activate the mesh for that particular user, and then we can, for example, retrieve images from, for example, the machine India. Naturally, we could be specifying here another machine out of the pool of clouds that is available to us. The important thing to understand is that as we are interfacing through a database, the state from the cloud and the mesh activity from Cloudmesh is shared amongst the GUI, the API, as well as the shell interface.
Tutorials are being provided on this particular page, especially through a list of notebooks. You can take a look at the list of notebooks, and there's also a mechanism to activate them so that you can run them directly from your local machine. So let us go back and take a look at some of the snapshots that we have, which we find here at the end under the section Screenshots, Cloudmesh GUI. Here we find some screenshots, and it shows that we can register clouds easily. And as you can see, we have here multiple clouds that we can register images with. You will be responsible for obtaining the accounts yourself on these clouds, and then you can use Cloudmesh to manage these the virtual machines on these variety of machines. We have a convenient view that allows you to view multiple clouds at the same time on the same window, as well as the images. We are working right now on a platform as a service launcher where you can specify certain parameters and click the plus button to start maybe an own managed Hadoop cluster or a Slurm cluster. We also have an interface to batch queues, where you can see what jobs are available on a variety of batch queues. Currently, we are supporting PBS and the command QStat, and obtaining the information and displaying them conveniently. The status of the clusters can also be visualized if you have proper access to them. And here we, for example, visualize the status of the cluster India, how many nodes are used, for example, in HPC, or how many nodes are being used in, for example, OpenStack. User activities are being displayed, which machines are most active, and that is being displayed in this particular image here. We also have an inventory where we can browse on what kind of information is available, as well as a service map that shows which services are being provided as part of our clusters. The last two items are at this time not yet available, as we are transitioning from FutureGrid to Future Systems. This gave you a very short overview about the graphical user interface, and next we will be talking about installing Cloudmesh on your system so that you can utilize these features yourself.